Keely thinks she can bypass the censor that will make the charges blow when they try to leave, so she goes crawling through the guts of Serenity to sort that out. Meanwhile, River is freaking out because she can sense that the survivor is awake and prepared to take, if he can't beat him, join him, rather literally. He's already carving himself up to look like a Reaver. I really hate people who do body modification just because it's trendy. Well, finally escaping the embodiment of heartless chaos, they run into the embodiment of heartless order, the Alliance. These dipshits have a generic alert about a Firefly that's wanted for having 2 fugitives, and the captain is ready to just shoot them rather than risk them littering or something. Mal has a handle on what to do. He takes the stashed cargo out of the stash so that it looks like they have nothing to hide. Then he tells Simon to go get River, which convinces Simon that he's only been kept around to be tossed to the wolves in order to save Mal's skin. Fortunately, Shepherd Book intervenes, telling him to stop being a fool but to trust Mal. Book has a handle on Mal's character already. That's probably the reason why he's still here. The man's actions speak more truthfully than his cynical words do. The fact that he gave up all that money and made a powerful enemy back in the train job just to help a town full of strangers says that he isn't going to just gift-wrap Simon and River for the Alliance. Though to be fair, River would probably really like most of that idea. Being covered in little stick-on bows seems like her thing. Mal tries being straight with the Alliance goons, directing them to the survivor in the infirmary in the hopes that his lies will be more believable, even when questioned about a brother and sister pair of fugitives, assuming out loud that they were children. Well, the sight of that nut has this whole thing turn official, dragging them back onto the Alliance ship while Serenity gets a thorough probing. Their personal lives get the same thing, as the crew are questioned one by one. But Simon and River are safe. Ish. Mal put them in suits and has them hanging on the outside of the ship, which for River is the time of her life. For Simon, it's just a lifetime of being stuck in a scary-ass void. Yeah, I've had days like that myself. Well, finally, it's Mal's turn to be questioned, and the fact that he used to be a browncoat comes up. The captain notes that the ship is named after the Battle of Serenity Valley.
Seems odd you name your ship after a battle you're on the wrong side of.
May have been the losing side. Still not convinced it was the wrong one.
Well, he's convinced that Serenity did all of that, given the state of the poor fucked-up bastard. Realistically, who'd think that guy would be nuts enough to do it to himself? Well, Captain Kangaroo Court doesn't buy the idea of Reavers. Mal says this guy is filled with the same darkness that makes the Reavers what they are, though, and that he's going to unleash that darkness right now, and not give a shit about the fact that he's on an Alliance ship filled with civilized people who also have guns. See, that's the thing about being extremely savage. You tend to lose your ability to give a fuck. It's not until the guy has already slaughtered his way through the ship and this dimwit takes notice, and Mal offers to take him where he knows the guy will be, back on Serenity, familiar ground for the hunt. Good thing that Mal is there, too, because it lets him stop them from spotting River and Simon, who have come back on board thinking everything is safe, and Mal saves the big cheese's life when the crazed bastard starts with the killing. Well, the nut job with the knife is definite proof that Serenity's crew is not responsible for what happened to those people, and in return for saving his life, the captain goes far enough to ignore both the illegal salvaging action taking place, as well as the fact that Serenity doesn't have its proper markings. As for letting them keep the cargo, though, well, no, you can't have that. Still, though, they're not being thrown in jail, so I'd say take the win. Bushwhacked is a darker, well-shot, well-edited, and well-performed piece. The interrogation of the crew's a fun scene, and there's a lot of moments that say much when nothing is said at all. It also serves as an effective reintroduction of the Reavers, showing it by their footprint, not by the monsters themselves. There are variants on one word throughout this episode, civilization. From the opening game that Simon says has no civilized rules, to the end when Mal says letting them profit from this wouldn't be civilized. The concept comes up. No civilization, playing without rules. Civilization, the rules trump gratitude. But as we see, Mal may not live by rules, but he lives by a code. In response to Shepherd Book's comment on something bigger than men, Mal says Reavers wouldn't agree with that philosophy because they don't truck with any philosophy. The Alliance represents an extreme: inflexible rules, an unwillingness to question, and a willingness to sacrifice lives for the system. The Reavers are its opposite. They have no rules and they have no thought. They kill solely for its own sake. It's Mal and those like him that represent a rational compromise between the two out here. A code is like rules, but with flexibility because it strings from a philosophy. You are free to go your own way, be your own person, so long as it's not infringing on me and mine. You ride with me, you follow the code too, or you can go find your own way. The reason you can have a preacher, a silver spoon up his ass doctor, and a greedy merc all on the same ship is everybody can speak their minds, but at the end of the day must not only tolerate each other, but have each other's backs. To be a crew is to be kin. A point that we'll see in our second Firefly review of the day, Safe.
All hail the Overlord! All hail the Overlord!
We're very private people.
The legs. Oh, yeah, I definitely have to say it was her legs.